The last class, we had done signs of trigonometric functions. Remember the statement, quadrant wise. However, you all are told to remember also, all silver teacups. So here all are positive. Here who is positive? Sine and cosec. Here tan and cot, cos and sec. Okay. Now suppose everybody knows what is sine 30, sine 45, all those standard angles. But suddenly somebody asks you what is sine of 135, like this. So 135 doesn't lie on this line also, this also, this also, this also. It lies somewhere in the middle of the quadrants. So how do we find in that case like a bigger angles which we do not know apart from the standard ones? Like we know is 0, 30, 45, 60, 90, then 270, 180, 270 and 360. This we learned that day with using the circle also. But what if any other angle is there, then what to do? So for that we have some shortcut. So if you see that page number something, page number 22, there are so many formulae if you can see. Rather, it is impossible to by heart simply all those formulae and keep. Okay, so to frame those formulas, so we'll learn some method. Some teachers they will directly give you and ask you to remember by heart and come they will say. Okay, so we will learn certain steps and shortcut, we will be able to write every single formula. So suppose, so first we'll see as per what is that, how to treat these quadrants. In terms of radians we will see. This is how much, 90 degree means how much? Pi by 2. This is pi, 3 pi by 2 and 2. Now let us consider a small angle x anywhere in this first quadrant. Maybe it is 30 degree, 45 degree, doesn't matter, whichever. Some angle is there. Now I want to check, suppose something sine of like this is coming. Pi by 2 minus x. So pi by 2 means how much? 90 degree. And x is some small angle. So I am removing some number from 90. So the number final answer after calculating will be less than 90 or more than 90? Less than 90. So less than 90 will belong in which quadrant? First quadrant. Okay, so first quadrant. So this quadrant we refer for. If pi by 2 minus x comes, so you have to see in the first quadrant. If I'm adding something to this, means you know that we always go this side, 60, 90, more than 90 like that. So if I'm adding something to pi by 2, it will be more than 90. So which quadrant it will fall in? Second quadrant. So this will fall in the second quadrant. Now same way, pi, 180. So 180 minus x. So something less than 180 will belong in which quadrant? Second quadrant. Then plus means this side. So remember, minus means this side, plus means in the front. Now this will be what? 3 pi by 2 minus x, and the other side will be 3 pi by 2 plus x. More than 270, less than 270. Same way, 2 pi minus x will be here in this quadrant, and 2 pi plus x will go back in the first quadrant. It is like full circle. So if you're adding, go in the front. If you're minusing, come behind. Okay, so this is how we can check the quadrant. So this is less, this is more. So wherever the line I'm standing at, I have to refer that. Less means go to the previous quadrant, plus means go in the front. Like this we have to check. So now there will be 3 steps which you have to know. So write those 3 steps and keep. So if you want, you can write this also. Quickly write this part also. Write this table. X means positive, and write this also. Minus x means negative. It is in the fourth quadrant. This is plus x, minus x always will be in the fourth quadrant. So draw this and write. If anyone has not understood, then please ask. Started, it's on. Understanding this part is very, very important now, because all the next problems, whatever like more angles and all, will be based on this. Mostly it will be in terms of radians. So remember, 90 means pi by 2, 180 means pi, 270 means 3 pi by 2, 360 means 2 pi. So now we'll see 3 steps you have to know. Given first one, something is like write the steps. Or later we'll write the steps. First I'll explain. Suppose you get sine of come. There are extra class also. Okay. So I have to find sine of pi minus x. So 3 steps you have to follow. Now you cannot simply by heart what is the formula of this. So if you know the 3 steps, it is easy. So step number 1, we have to see where this fellow lies in. So this is how much? Pi means how much I told you? 180, no? So minus, I'm removing something from 180. So which quadrant does this belong to? Less than 180 means? Tell me which quadrant? Pi minus x is in which quadrant? Second quadrant. So we know we have to refer in the second quadrant. So we are in this quadrant. So first step is done. So step number 1 is locate the quadrant. So we did the first step. We understood that this angle belongs in the second quadrant. Now step number 2, you have to look for the sign, whether it is positive or negative in that quadrant. So we know all silver tea cups. So here who is positive in the second quadrant? Sign is positive. So this one sign will be writing as positive. If it was 10, what you have to write? Negative, like that. So sign is positive in the first quadrant. So step number 2 is also done. And step number 3, we have to check whether it is fraction or not a fraction. Now, is there any fraction over here? Pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, those are called fractions. Now here there is no fraction. If there is no fraction, whatever this trigonometric function is there, you have to write it as it is. Sign will remain as sign only. Okay? If this was 10, if this is sign. And all this just goes away and simply have to write it as x. So this will be our answer. Sine of pi minus x is sine x, like that. Okay? So this is like one first example. Now one more I'll give you. Now check, like let's try with the same rules. If there this with a fraction, if it comes, I'll tell you next. So first we'll understand when there is no fraction what to do. Now check which quadrant this belongs to. 2 pi minus x. Look for the quadrant. Which quadrant this belongs to? 2 pi minus x. Fourth quadrant. In fourth quadrant, again all silver tea cups. So look which sign. Who is positive here? Cos and sec. But we wanted to know what is the sign of 10. So 10 will be what? Negative. Is there a fraction? No. So 10 will remain as. So answer of this is minus 10x. So this is how we solve. Okay, so write the 3 steps first. I'll write it again. First step, locate the quadrant. Second one, check sign if positive or negative. And third one, check if fraction or not a fraction. So two conditions. If not a fraction or no fraction is there, no fraction means pi, 2 pi. These are the categories of no fraction. No changes will happen. No changes means sign will remain as sign only. Okay. Cos will remain as cos. Tan will remain as tan. If it is cot, okay, you can simply say no changes also and just skip if you have understood. Not required. So same it will remain. Cot will remain as cot, sec will remain as sec, and cosec will remain as cosec. No changes as it is. If there is a fraction, fraction means like pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, if these are there, then change the function. So now, if it is sine, you have to make it cos. And if it is cos, you have to make sine, both the ways. Tan, you have to make cot. Cot, if it is there, you have to make it tan. And sec, if it is there, so these are your partners. So do not get confused between that, sine and cosec. Here, who is the family? All. Here, sine and cosec is the family. But don't confuse with this. These are the reciprocals. But this is different. Yes, sine and cos. Okay. Tan and cot is the pair and sec and cosec is the. So remember this part. So if you remember these 3 steps, you have understood the entire page. Means now we will solve some of, like we'll write. So any one you can pick from that, follow the steps and you will get the answer. So with fraction, I will explain what to do. Okay, so without fraction, I gave you examples. Please keep these 3 steps in your head, and most of the problems which we'll be solving after this will be simple for you. That x could be any angle, like later we'll see. Now I want to know what is the value of this sine of 3 pi by 2 plus x. Okay, there are longer methods also which I will not even get into later, like using sine of a plus b formula, sine a cos b. That is easy for sine, but when there is tan, you have to write a sine and cos and it gets lengthy. So you can remember one same formula for everything. Now, step number 1, locate the quadrant, check where this belongs to. So 3 pi by 2 means 270. I am adding something to 270. So something more than 270. Something more than 270 means which quadrant? Fourth quadrant. If this was minus, then it would be in the third quadrant. Right now we are in the fourth quadrant. 5 plus 8. In fourth quadrant, all are positive. All silver tea cups. Cos is positive and sec is positive. But we have to look for the sign of this one. So which sign we will take? Minus. Okay, so two steps are done. First step, check the quadrant. Second step, we check the sign. Now third step is whether this is a fraction or not a fraction. So now you know it is a fraction. Fraction means you have to do changes. So sign will become whom? Cos. And just write x in the front irrespective whatever was there inside the bracket. That is not to be bothered. So just have to write x. That's it. Now don't look at this one sign over here. Again, what you have to do is you will get confused. Again, you will say cos is positive and make this positive. This is not the sign of this one. Sign is negative in this quadrant, so it is minus. That is why it is. Take this. Fine. Write the answer now quickly. Tan of 3 pi by 2 minus x. Check which quadrant it belongs to. 3 pi by 2 means 270. So less than 270 because I am minusing something from 270. So third quadrant, correct? Here 10 is positive. But this is a fraction. It will be. So just find out all this. Try this. You can do this, that means you have understood all the concepts. Right. Then no need to by heart those formulae. So anything comes, you can remember those two steps and write down. No, you do. Right. If you have some difficulties, do not understand, then ask. We have understood this, we have like major part is solved like. So 2 pi minus x is in the fourth quadrant. In fourth quadrant, it is positive. It is not a fraction. So cos will remain as cos. First one, everybody's got same answer. Second one, pi by 2 plus x, something more than 90 degree. In this, you know that only sine and cosec is positive. So this will be negative. Fraction. So sec will become. This is again second quadrant minus cot will remain as cot because it is not a fraction. Cosec 3 pi by 2 plus x, fourth quadrant, so minus Since it is a fraction, it will become sec. Check. Don't copy, huh? First I'll try and then confirm. If you're simply copying, then it will be of no use. No. Tan of pi by 2 minus x. So this will be minus means second quadrant, again negative. Oh, sorry, first. So this will be 4. And this is 2 pi. So again back to first quadrant. 2 pi plus x. Full circle. Like this. Pi plus x means again going in the first quadrant. Because 2 pi is here. Addition means in the front. So sign will remain as sign. So these are your answers. So clear how this works? Okay. So given any angle and any trigonometric function based on the quadrants, you can find the answer. And one last thing is with negative. Suppose if you get negative angles, what to do? Negative, then which quadrant I told you to refer? Minus 8. No matter how big that number is, minus 780 or some 1000 minus, the moment negative is there, always refer fourth quadrant only. So in fourth quadrant, who is positive? Cos and sec. So I want to find what is sine of minus theta, or directly sine of minus x also, if you have learned in terms of x, is minus sine x directly. No cos, there's no fraction, meaning nothing, like that directly. This is minus because only cos will be positive. Tan of minus x will be minus tan x. Then who is that? Sec. This will be positive. Cos x will be negative. Cot also will be negative. So only these two will be positive. So cos and sec of negative angles will be always positive, and remaining all will be directly negative. So if somebody asks you what is cos of minus 780, something like that, your first step will be what? Negative. Cos of negative is what? Positive. Plus cos 780. It will look like this first time. If it was sine of minus 780, then you have to first read it as what? Minus 7. Later you can solve this part. But first step to deal with negative is you have to refer fourth quadrant. Only cos and sec will be positive in the fourth quadrant. Rest all will negative will come out straight away like this. Okay. So based on this, now we'll solve the problem. So write this also and keep about the negative angles. So only cos is positive and sec is positive. Rest all angles will be negative. So now we'll start solving problems on page number 23. So based on this formula. So whether it is in terms of degrees, whether it is in terms of radians, you can follow the same rules. Page number 23. The first question we had done. So now evaluate. is equals to 1. Bracket doesn't matter where it is, whether it is for the whole thing or for the angle. Now separately we will find all the values and then put it back. So this is what we have to prove. After substituting the values, final answer should be 1. We will start by finding one at a time. So first we'll try to find what is sine of minus 420. So you know that this is a big angle, so directly you will not be able to solve. So first you check whether there is positive or negative. So if there is a negative sign, always deal with the sign first. Then you start solving this part. So sign of minus, just now we saw fourth quadrant. Sign is what? Fourth quadrant negative. So minus will come out. First you have to write it as sine of 420. This minus is out. Because in the fourth quadrant, sign is negative. Always deal with the negative sign first. Now, just to avoid fractions and those things, take the multiples of 180. Okay? And closest number you check over here. Always prefer 180. It is easier. Because sign will remain as sign. Otherwise, odd multiples of 90 will be like that. 3 pi by 12. So always make a habit rather than 90. This is easier method. So 181, you know that is 180. So then 180 into 2, 360. Okay, so into 3 will be what? 540. Okay, so this you check. Now check for the closest number. Who is closest to 360? Sorry, closest number to 420 is how much? 360, no? Just see. Closest one. So you have to split this number in terms of this. So 420 minus 360 you do. See how much you are getting. The difference. How much you'll get? 60 degree. So that is the difference. So I have to split it as sine of 360 degree plus 60. So you can write it like this. Look for the closest number. Okay, so this is the closest number to 420 between this and this. Because if you minus 540 minus 420, you'll get a bigger number. 120 difference you will get. So that is understood this part, splitting of the angle. Now check which quadrant this belongs to. If you want, you can simply put it over here 2 pi and 6 because 360 is 2 pi. If you can directly also check which quadrant this belongs to. Which quadrant this is belonging to? 360 plus 60. 360 is over here. Plus 60 will go to the first quadrant. This is like a x. Now it is like 2 pi plus x. So what we'll do is, look, the first step is done. First quadrant. 360 plus 60 is in the first quadrant. So this is already there, minus sign out. But this one will be positive because sign is positive in the first quadrant. You know that this is not a fraction. 2 pi is not a fraction. So sign will remain as sign only. Who is there in terms of x? So directly you can write it as plus 60. So first split the angle, okay, in terms of multiples of 180. Then check which quadrant it belongs. Then follow the 3 steps. So first step is to check which quadrant it belongs to. So 2 pi plus x means first quadrant. Since it is not this, look for the sign. So sign is positive in the first quadrant. And then since it is not a fraction, sign will remain as sign. X you have to just copy paste as it is. Now minus into plus. And sign of 60 will be what? root 3, right? So like this now, check for cos of 390, split the angle. Solve cos of 390 degree. Try this. Check who is closest number through to 390. Again 360, no? So if you cannot directly think how much is the difference, minus and see how much it is. Do 390 minus 360 and check how much it is. So what you'll have to write? 360 plus 30. You can solve it confidently. The pen. You know how to do it. Yeah. So 360 plus 30. Because 390 minus 360 you can. Understood? The difference you can check. So if you add also, you'll get back the same. Now check which quadrant it belongs to. So 360 plus 30 will be in the first quadrant. Because 360 line is here. I'm adding something here. So it will be in the first. In the first quadrant, what it is, all are positive, all silver teacups. So anyways, this sign will be positive. If you are done, then try the next one, sir. Increase the number then. If you are having bigger number, try 180 to 4 and all and check. Now try the third one. So first, deal with the negative sign. First, second one, any difficulty? No. Trigonometric table you have to know by heart. What the answer? Write all the values. Dazala. Ela answer. It minus eta. 1 eta. Final answer. Minus 1 eta. There can be. Maybe this is minus 1 also. We'll check. And a mistake. Check. Let's see if everybody is getting this. Next is cos of minus 660. So you know that first you have to deal with this. Cos is positive in the fourth quadrant. Then this is 2 pi. 3 pi is 540. 4 pi. So how to check? Where is 4 pi? I told you all. These are all odd pi's. Pi, 3 pi, 5 pi, all even pi's are here. Like, so I'm standing here, 4 pi is this line. I'm minusing something from this 4 pi. So it will be less or it will be more? Less. So we'll be in the fourth quadrant. In fourth quadrant, cos is anyways positive. Since it is 4 pi, straight away. Why have I taken this 180 instead of taking 90? Is that headache is not there. That to convert, whether it is not a fraction, always it will be not a fraction in this type of cases. Whenever we are taking 180. If you are taking 90, then there will be a fraction involved and you'll have to convert cos. You'll have to think that. But this is easier. Directly cos will remain as cos. Here no putting again minus, huh? Only x part we have to put straight away. No putting any minus. No. Cos of negative, where you have to check negative angle. Which quadrant I told you to check? Fourth. In fourth quadrant, cos is positive. So first deal with the negative side. Try the next one. Cos 16. जरा कितीतरी ego hurt झालं wrong येतो. Try. Whether it is correct, wrong, doesn't matter, just try. Wrong झालं again we can cancel. It's okay to make mistakes. Then only we learn. With the fear of making mistakes or don't solve, and then the same mistakes happen for exams, then there's no point. Who's the fourth fellow was there? Sine of 330. I'm going to 360 minus 30. Okay, which quadrant? This is 2 pi, no? 360 means 2 pi. Fourth quadrant. In fourth quadrant, sign is negative. See, whether this is plus, minus, doesn't matter. While writing only the angle, you have to write here. Again, minus, you cannot write. Irrespective, just copy the x part, not the minus. And now sine of 30 will be again. Now write your left hand side and substitute all the values. One positive, negative, -1. So some mistake must be there over there. Sorry, a problem. I am not remembering which problem. It must be the first one only. Cos, what is that? Next one, 390, no? I did not bring the notes. It must have been corrected on that. Okay. Okay, value कितले लो? -1. Again. Okay. Okay. I think -1 only. Correct answer. So √3 into √3 is how much? 3, no? Upon 2. Oh, sorry. Common it will be. -1/4. My base is common, so -3 -1 upon 4. So -4 upon 4, -1. So just correct in the question on the notes, it should be -1. Prove that it is equals to -1. Okay, now I can do the second one similar way. Directly cot of 405, all those values you find out. Now once you understand the rules, now you know any angle comes, you know how to solve that. Correct this as -1 in the question. You have to prove equals to -1. Find out. Now you all know how to find. So closest one is 360. So 405 minus 360 you do. So you'll get it as what? 45, no? Again. So what you have to split it as 360 plus 45. Three sixty means how much? 2 pi. The zero line, back to zero line. Plus 45 will go to first quadrant. It will take some time, like to get adjusted to the rules. Okay. Suddenly a new topic comes, it takes some time. But you have to practice, huh? Otherwise, in some days again you will forget. Or 2 pi. So this fellow came in the first part. So 360 is here. Or 2 pi is here. All even pi I told you is here. How will okay. Y'all discuss, no problem. Getting answer? Try. Not at all. Part of only this much will 45. Plus, no, because it is in the first part. Yeah, that's fine. Even if you do. Now write what is part of 45. The trigonometric table you have to know. Huh? 1 will be the sine 45 is 1 by root 2. And cos 45, 1. Cos upon sine. Cot tan 45 and cot 45 is always 1. See, you made, I wrote this again. What you do? Cot 45. No, this is also wrong, no? This, how much is the angle? See what you did, 405 plus 45 again will become what? 445. This you have to split, no? So 360 plus 45. Understood? Now which quadrant? 360 means which line? The zero line. Something more than zero? Check where is it. Take time, no issues, but understand. Done, then try the next one. Got all done, all of them. I think you all were using which method and that same has been taught to you. There's quadrant and all to check. Next number is 10 of 765. 720, no? Okay, 4 pi. Okay. Good. Now understanding. Yeah. Minus you have to deal first. With minus. Minus will be out first. It's unable to minus check करपाचे. मागे असले solve करपाचे. Minus you remove out first. And barrel kind करू. आणि table of okay. On the number sign cosec of 1410, no? So now there is a minus sign. So you have to first always deal with minus. Don't start splitting the angles till you deal with this. So you know that minus में which quadrant refer करपास आला? Fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant ना कोण असता? Cos positive असता. All silver teacup. So cosec is negative. So minus will be out. खाली cos आणि sec आल्यावर positive जाते. Cosec of 1410. So you are now the closest number. How much are you getting? 6 or 7? 8 direct. Okay, because double, no, of this. Four. Oh. So 30. 1, 4, 4, 0 minus 30 again. Fraction जाते ना मैं पहले तुम्हें इधर से fraction वाली इसको cross multiply कम से ऊपर चाहिए the closest one. नाले काय खोलनाला पण डिग्री जान कन्वर्ट कर मैं solve both the ways are correct. But that is only going to take times in exam. And the 25 गेलो वाऱ्यानं उडवून कोणा मल्टिप्लाय केलं मागीर खंयच क्वाड्रंटा पडटा चेक करपाचो मागीर मेजीत राव 1 2 3 25 नंबर्स मागीर तेजो म्हळ्यार मागीर वॉर्निंग बेल आनी मागीर उरते प्रॉब्लेम्स काबार. So minus, now this is which quadrant? So 8 pi. 8 pi, you know that. 0, 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi, 8 pi. So I'm on this line now. Something less. 8 from 8 pi, I'm removing 30. So it will be less. So fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant, cosec is negative, one more minus. So minus into minus will become plus. And cosec 30 will be tells in left. Done? Okay. Sine of minus 25 pi by 4. Now with the direct radians also. See, two options you have. Either you can first convert into degrees and then start solving by this method, but it is only going to take time. So I will explain to you how to deal with this when there is fraction. So first deal with the negative sign irrespective whatever is there inside a bracket. It is a negative angle. So this will come out. Something is left out. Minus fourth quadrant, you know that. Only cos and sec are positive zata. Remember that. Rest all will be negative. Huh? Irrespective fraction also, we are dealing with this fellow. First, only look at the sign. I told you no matter what the angle is, 1000 pasun asu, nala 2000 asu, ani kitte asu, fraction asu, kono asu. We are only dealing with negative. So don't look in the quadrant, nothing. Negative means only thing fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant, sign of 25 pi by 4. So this is your first step, done. Okay. Now, whenever you have like this fractions, means in terms of pi, so if you convert, then you have to look like this, like in degrees. So it will be a big number, and then you'll have to write a big table like that. So what we do is we use another method straight away to split. Who is a main fraction? Pi by 4 is a main fraction. So understand the main fraction first. This is like a coefficient at the side. So what you have to do is split this angle. So write your main fraction first. So pi by 4 is your main fraction. Now at the side, it's like you have to cross multiply. Always you can start with 1 pi first. 4 ones are 4. But if closest to 25 you have to take, then 4 2s are 8, 4 3s are 12. So closest one. 4 4s are 16, no, 4 6 are 24. Closest number, table of 4. 24 is the closest number to 25. 4 sevens are 28. 28 is bigger. 24 is sum ko closer. So 4 6 are 24. How much I need to make it 25? 1. So plus 1 5. Like this you have to do cross multiply. 4 4 are 16, 4 5, 4 6 are 24, plus 1 5 is 20. So if you had cross multiplied, how much you would have got? 24 pi plus 1 pi upon 4, which will be anyways 24 plus 1, 25 pi by 4 only you would have got the same answer. So understood how to split? Look for the main fraction, go to the closest number and complete how much you need more. Yes. So 1 pi by 4, I can write it as what? Simply as pi by 4 only. So this is your x now. Now check which quadrant this belongs to. 6 pi, which first quadrant? Because 6 pi is here. 6 pi means even line. No need to write this also. If you know this is the even pi line. Plus pi by 4. Plus pi by 4 means going in the front. So first quadrant. In first quadrant, this minus is already there. But in first quadrant, sign is positive. Since this is not a fraction. Now don't look at this one and say it is a fraction. This one. So no fraction. This is your angle. This is like 45 degree. Pi by 4. So no fraction. Sign will remain as sign. What? Pi by 4 means 45 degree. If you want, you can convert, or else I told you to remember that table. 30 means how much? Pi by 6. 45. 4 is for 4 only. Pi by 60 means pi by 3. Ulta it is, these numbers. And 90 is pi by 2. So pi by 4 means 45 degree. 1 by root 2 is a. So like this you have to solve. Now try the next fraction if you have understood. If some difficulty, then ask. I will explain. Since it is a new concept, it takes some time, but don't keep a doubt in your head. So tan of 19 pi by 3. Look for the main fraction and split. Try the next one now. 10 of 19 pi by 3. Some mistake you did. Which angle? Who is x? Pi by 3 means how much? 60 degree. Solve it. Right. Minus, deal with minus first. ते जनरल अवघड असेल ना सारखं शॉर्ट टर्म मेमरी मायनस काढली बाहेर काढली हा see now those still having difficulties look for the main fraction side in बरं main fraction right at the side now start with 1 pi like this 3 ones are 3 closest to 19 so you know that 3 6 are 18 18 plus 1 is 3 6 are 18 pi plus 1 pi is 19 pi. Understood? So this is your x, the smaller x, the fraction one. Which quadrant again? First quadrant. 10 is positive in the first quadrant. So 10 of 5 by 3 will be, this is 16, no? 5 by 3 means 60 degree. 3 I told you is ulta. 3 means 60 and 6 means 30. Try the next one. Hey, apuro. I know झालं ते श्वेता आहे but आवाजही ते श्वेता. I told her discuss but not so much. Next one. Try the next one. On the sine of minus 11 pi by 3. So there is a negative one. So deal with negative first. The minus will come out first. Now with your main fraction pi by 3. So write pi by 3 here at the side. And now start with 3 ones are 3. The closest one is how much? 1 is 3, 3s are 9. But you will need 10, 11, 2 gap for that. Closest one is what? 12. 12 is closer to 11 more than 9. 9 is 2 numbers behind, like that. So the closest number. But now this is 12. I need 11. So what will I have to do? Minus. You have to take the closest, huh? Otherwise it will go wrong. You cannot take 3 3s are 9 plus 2. 9 plus 2 will be wrong because that is a bigger gap. Now check which quadrant 4 pi means we are here. But minusing means not ahead, behind. So fourth quadrant. So fourth quadrant, sign is what? Negative. Means 60 degrees. Pi by 3 means 60. Sine 60 is root 3 by 3. The seventh one. So minus first will come out. Then write a main fraction and solve. I can do the next ones. Those are also easy. Only write what is 5 by 6 means 30 squaring. Try. Question number 3 you can try. Those are finished. You just have to put the values and then square the answers because there is a square. Four fours are 16 minus 1. Again, fourth quadrant. Minus into minus will be plus and 45. Huh? What happened? 45 degrees which quadrant? First no. What happened? Anything less than 90 I will leave is first quadrant. More than 90 is second quadrant. Done? This is the problem, understood? So whichever fraction you get, you have to go to the closest. First, always if there is minus, deal with the negative sign. Then main fraction, closest one, look for the quadrant, and then try the same steps you have to follow. Now to the next one. These are direct problems. Question number 3. Given in terms of radians, but you should know what is their degree. So take the left hand side. Only square is there. So whatever answer you get, you just have to square it. So this is your left hand side. 5 by 6 means how much I told you all degree? Minus 1 is given there. Okay. Check. 5 by 6 means degree is 30. 6 is for 30. Ulta. And 3 will be for 60. And 4 is for 45 only because that's the middle fellow. So this is 30 degree. This is 60 degree. And this is 4 is for 40. So right, what is the value of sine 30? Sine 30 is how much? Half. Since there is square, you write the whole square. In the question, there is square. So this square belongs to the number. Don't make this 36. Square means whatever is the answer, the whole. Cos 60, again half. And this is how much? 1. Now, square will belong to numerator also. Square will belong to denominator also. So 1 by 4. Either you take LCM for all the 3 terms or first you can solve this. 1 plus 1 upon 4. Don't cancel out and all. This is separate number. So you have to deal with this first. Denominator is same. 2 by 4. And now cross multiply. Which you are getting equals to RHS. Right hand side. Do the next one. This is multiplication sign. Huh? Now this is straight away pi by 6 means 30 degree. And this is 60. But this is different fellow. This is a bigger number. 7 pi by 6 means 7 into 30 like that. So first we'll have to find out this one's value we directly know what is sine of. So what we'll do is we'll find out what is at the side cosec of 7 pi by 6. Now you all know how to solve like this type problems with fractions. So take the main fraction, split the angle and solve. This value we directly know. So with this one value we can put, but this is not a standard angle, which we know. So it is something extra. So split this and find out now. So pi by 6. So 1 pi, 6 ones are 6. Now solve. Check the quadrant now, which quadrant this belongs to. Pi means how much? 180. I'm adding something to 180. Third quadrant. In third quadrant, cosec is negative. Now 1 pi by 6 means same as pi by 6. Pi by 6 means how many degrees? 30 degrees. Cosec of 30 is. Learn the table. Huh? So whenever, or if you are not able to by heart, at least you should know how to write at least on top of the page before the exam starts. So that at least you can directly refer. If some people, like some of them all are struggling directly to remember and you all get confused, what you'll do is first starting of this, you can write it somewhere and then refer and substitute. So this value we got. So substitute back here. This already we know. Sine 30 is half. But there is a square there. A square there. So 2 is outside, huh? This 2 is outside. No, plus. How much we got? Minus 2, but there is a square there. A square there. Cos 60 is half. So cos of 60 is again half. So square. Square all the terms, whatever answers you are getting. And now simplify. So that will be the answer. 3 by 2. Whichever way you solve, you should get the answer. Do the third one quickly, then we'll finish. Second one, any difficulty, this problem? This is 30 degree. This is 30 degree. These are standard. Now this one is different. To find the value of this, we need cosec of 5 pi by 6. So split the angle. The main angle is pi by 6. 6 ones are 6. Now I need 5. So I'll have to minus. And this is what? Second quadrant. And in second quadrant, anyways, what? Sine and cosec is positive. Answer a bit. Then just put the values back, get the answer. Cot square, so 30. There is no square for this one. So just write 2 as it is. Then 30 is 1 by root 3. Root 3 square is 3. And what answer is expected? 6, correct. Just wind up so that we can start with a new topic next. X square, pi by. I'll just finish with the last one so that next class there is a new topic to start with, new formula. Okay. You know this is 45 straight away. And this is 60 degree. These one's values you directly know. Only this you have to find out. Sine of pi by 3 pi by. So in the rough work, at the side you can find what is sine of 3 pi by. Split the angle. 4 ones are 4 minus 1. Second quadrant. Plus sign. 1 by root 2. And then put it. This calculation part then you will get. One plus 8, which is 10. So this is how we solve. So if you know the steps, any angle comes, you can solve and put the values. Go home and revise the problem. Or behind there are practice questions, so you can try those out.